Hi, I'm Kate with Porch Adventures, and today we are bringing our very first unboxing. Today I've got the box for the SeaSucker vacuum mount system. Joseph has been watching me struggle climbing all up over the Jeep in order to take down and put up and mess with the tent solo. And Miss Shorty Pants over here has to climb and grip all under the tent mount and on the gutter system and even climb up on the roof to be able to get the tent put back together. Now the tent is not that difficult. It's just I'm short, it's high up on our rig, and you need a little bit of leverage. So he, in his infinite wisdom and his kind heart, started down this road of finding a solution for me. And I think he has found it. But today we're going to unbox that and test it out. And like I said, it is the SeaSucker vacuum mount system. So let's get started. All right. So what we have here on top are the two medium duty handles by SeaSucker. And then the bottom, the universal recovery board mount. So we have the medium duty vacuum suction handle. It has 4.5-inch diameter vacuum suction cups right here. This measures about 12 inches in length, 3 inches in height. Installed correctly, the medium duty handle should be able to hold up to, I believe, between 120 and 240 pounds because the 4.5-inch diameter vacuum suction cup is supposed to have a weight rating of 120 pounds each. So they say on their website that if you have more than one suction mount, of course it is going to multiply that weight capacity for the mount based on how many suction cups there are. So according to their website, this should hold about 240 pounds. You can use it as a handle. They also say you can use it as a cleat, which I'm going to put to the test today because this little shorty needs an extra boost. What I like about the idea of this so far is it is temporary. So whenever we're not overlanding, we can take it off, we can store it. Looks like they've got some really good protective coverings for the suction cups. You do need to moisten. I know there's some people here who don't like the word moist, but moisten the seal. And it even says it right there. Moisten, moisten, moisten. On the suction cup, moisten. I love that word. Maybe other people don't, and they get some cringe on it, but I'm actually enjoying the fact that there are people out there watching this video that are actually cringing, and I'm going to keep saying the word moist.
How does it make you feel when I say the word moist?
Any smooth surface, non-porous surface will work. Anything that is porous, it's just not going to get that suction that you need in order to have a good mount and good security. Manufactured from HDPE, UV stabilized, high density polyethylene. These are not supposed to melt in any natural heat environment. In fact, they say on the website, if these start to melt, you're already dead. Because it is UV stabilized, whether you get the white or the black, there is not supposed to be any fading to the material. And if you continue to take it off and store it in between use, you will actually lengthen the lifetime of the product. They did have originally a 1-year warranty, but because of the durability of this product, they did change it to a limited lifetime warranty. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to moisten these babies up and put it to the test. So they do recommend to moisten the suction cup before installing. And no, I would not recommend using your tongue.
Moist. Please stop.
So I've got a wet paper towel here. We're going to stick it right here just so I have maybe a cleat here. And I guess we're just going to start pumping this sucker. All right, it's not letting me pump very much. You don't see any orange to it. The buttons are done. So I'm going to pull very hard on this, and my husband is going to hold his breath while this doesn't like dent the side of the truck. I'm not feeling any give to the suction. And they also say that if there is any give to the suction, that you're going to start seeing these slowly decompress, and then you'll start seeing that orange ring. They do recommend that even though there can be a long time suction on here, to constantly check your mounts to see if there is an orange ring showing. If so, you don't have to reposition it. You don't have to do any of that. According to the website, you just need to keep pressing the button until you no longer see that orange and the buttons stop moving. It's so moist. Oh, y'all hate me. Y'all will never watch another one of these again, will you?
Moist.
Woo! All right, it is holding me up. I'm balancing right now on one foot, putting my weight on that. Well, I would say that that definitely holds. Now, I won't be using this as a foothold for when I am on top with the tent, taking it up, putting it down.
Strike that. Reverse it.
But having the option to be able to move these around the vehicle in order for me to be able to get around is going to make things a lot easier for me. They say you're supposed to just pull back on. Haha! That was that easy. I was going to do a test run, but I didn't have to.
Whoop-de-doo! What does it all mean, Basil?
So in order to remove them pretty quickly, they have these thumb tabs right here underneath the button. And all you need to do is stick your thumb here sideways and just lift up to break that seal. It makes that little indent to break the suction. And then of course, the pumps come up and it tells you that obviously it is released. Okay, in order for me to release this one, if you have something high up, there is a second one here at the bottom. So you have 2 points to be able to release the suction. So if you get too high up and you cannot bring your thumb down, you have it right here where you could bring your thumb up, push up, and suction is released. The next thing we're going to unbox is the Universal Recovery Board mount from SeaSucker. And this is the universal one, should be able to fit any recovery board length or width according to the website. There are kits to where if you do not have a recovery boards at all, you can actually purchase their recovery boards along with the mounting system. So we have got the bolts and these long nuts right here that go with it. Looks like we have got an extra pump valve and some washers and some tightening nuts. All right, we have these 2 recovery board suction systems. The recovery board system has the same 4.5-inch diameter vacuum suction cups. Let's get it installed. So one thing that we noticed as we were putting this together, there really are no clear instructions on exactly the orientation on how to mount the suction cup, so whether it goes on the inside or the outside. And I think maybe that's the beauty of it, because it being a universal mounting system, in our mounts, we have pretty much 3 points to be able to use. We have a very wide point right here. We have an outer point right here, and then we have the thickest point, which is towards the middle, and that's the one that we ended up using. As we flipped it over, we realized that the suction cups were in the middle and talked about, do they need to be in the middle or do they need to be on the outside? And I think that's the beauty of it, is whatever your mounting needs are with the size of your mounting or of your recovery boards and the size of where you are going to be mounting this system allows for a lot of flexibility. So that is a big plus with this that we are figuring out as we are installing it. So what you're going to do to install, and we're going to continue with that same overlays. These are the tools that we're going to use is right here, all right? First thing you're going to do is you're going to end up putting the smaller washers. There are two sizes of washers. You have a 1 inch, and then you have a larger one. It doesn't even really say, it's just a standard washer. So you're actually going to put the smaller one on the bolt. I'll just grab this one for right now. You're going to put it through the mount system, and then you are going to put that bolt through the hole that you want to secure the board to. All right, so we have that there. So as you can see right here, you have this slot system that allows for the bolt and the washer to be able to slide on either side in order to get the width that you need for your recovery boards. All right, so once you have that through, you're going to take your standard washer, you're going to flip this over onto its side. You're going to stick the washer on the bolt. And then you're going to take the tightening nut and you're just going to thread it onto the bolt. Now, what they say is to hand tighten. That way it's easier to access your recovery board or boards, however many you need, quickly without having to get extra tools out. These threads are pretty long. So even if this gets pretty loose, I think you're going to tell and have plenty of time before anything happens to it. So we're just going to put it up here, make sure all the 4 points are on there. I am going to make sure that the suction cups have got really good suction. I have already pre-moistened the suction cups. Moist. And so now I'm going to just start pumping. And if you start feeling a little resistance, you can go ahead and move to the other side. Oh, there we go. That one's already on there. We're going to get this one going. All right, that one's engaged. All right, now we're going to get the top ones. Put a little bit of pressure onto where the suction cup is going to be. And even though I'm short and I can't see what I'm doing, what I like about the system so far is I can feel how much pressure it's taking at every pump that I make on the button. That way I know that maybe I need to put a little bit more pressure on here in order for it to get a better seal. There we go. I just had to put a little bit more pressure on the top, and then I could already feel the button becoming a little bit more difficult. And now they are installed. So after the unboxing and my first impression of the SeaSucker vacuum sucked. So my first impression of the SeaSucker mount systems has been quite impressive. Getting to play with it right out of the box and seeing how tough, rugged, and high quality these things are. As of right now, I would say get them if you need them. This is a really good alternative to permanent mounting systems to where you can move it around, you can take it off, put it up whenever you're not needing it, and you can adjust it as you maybe upgrade or change some of your equipment or your accessories.
After install, the next weekend, we took it out on the trails for 3 days. It got pretty moist in storms, water crossings, and mud, and even survived highway speeds. The SeaSucker mounts held up really well. If you're interested in purchasing this for yourself to give it a try, we will have a link in the description. If you like the content that you're seeing, we'd really appreciate it if you would give a like, subscribe, and share.